Dear Chosen One, listen carefully. I have an urgent message for you today. This message is not for everyone. If you do not walk the divine path of God, if your heart is not aligned with truth, you will feel uncomfortable and leave. But if you are truly chosen, you will stay because this message was guided to you at the exact right moment. This did not reach you by accident. Heaven arranged this encounter. What I am about to share will change how you understand yourself and what you have been experiencing. It will bring clarity, peace, and strength to your spirit. Many of you have felt it already. People look at you longer than normal. Their eyes linger, yet their mouths remain closed. They stare, but they say nothing. By the end of this message, you will understand the spiritual reason behind that silence. Before we continue, if this resonates with you, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Share this with other chosen ones who need to hear this. Comment 444 below to declare you are divinely protected and aligned with what God is doing in your life. Section 2. The Invisible Mark, Chosen One. Settle your mind and listen calmly. What you are experiencing is not random. There is something placed upon you that cannot be seen with human eyes, yet it is deeply felt. God places an invisible mark on those he chooses. Not a mark of pride or superiority, but a mark of assignment. This mark carries weight, and wherever weight enters a room, it shifts the atmosphere. That is why you can walk into a place quietly and still feel eyes turn toward you. You did not say anything unusual, but something in the room changed when you arrived. People do not always stare because they admire you. Sometimes they stare because their inner world was disturbed. Your presence interrupts patterns they are used to. You carry order into chaos without trying. You carry calm into noise without effort. Your presence speaks before your mouth ever opens. It communicates integrity, restraint, and depth. Most people enter spaces carrying the need to be validated, noticed, or approved. They talk quickly, explain themselves, fill silence, because silence exposes them. But you are different. You are comfortable being still. You are anchored, and that anchor creates tension in those who live emotionally ungrounded lives. That is why the staring often comes with silence. They are trying to read you, trying to place you into a category that makes sense. But you do not fit their usual boxes. You are not loud enough to dismiss, not weak enough to overlook, and not familiar enough to control, so they observe. This is important for your healing. The silence you receive is not rejection. It is recognition mixed with uncertainty. Your spirit carries authority that does not ask permission. Authority makes people pause, measure their words, become cautious, even when they do not consciously know why. Stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You are not meant to dilute what God placed upon you. The discomfort you trigger is not cruelty. It is contrast. Light does not apologize for revealing what darkness tried to hide. Even in silence, you are seen. Even when you say nothing, your presence testifies. This invisible mark also attracts attention from those who are spiritually hungry. Some stare because they feel safe near you. Others stare because they feel judged by their own conscience, not by you. Some simply recognize strength that does not need to prove itself. You must learn to sit peacefully in that reality. Let me say this slowly. You are not intimidating because you are aggressive. You are unsettling because you are grounded. You are not watched because you are strange. You are watched because you are rare. Stability in a broken world feels foreign to many people. The invisible mark also serves as protection. It creates distance without hostility, keeps access limited without you having to enforce it. God did not design you to be easily accessed by everyone. Some doors close simply because your presence reminds people they cannot manipulate you. What God placed on you is intentional. It will attract who is meant to come close and repel who is not. Section 3. When spirit recognizes spirit, chosen one, not every stare you receive comes from confusion. Some come from recognition. Recognition, when mixed with fear, often produces silence. Spirit recognizes spirit before the mind has time to explain it. This recognition does not need language or introduction. It happens quietly, deeply, instantly. When you encounter certain people, something inside them senses you are not ordinary, even if they cannot explain what makes you different. That moment of sensing creates a pause. Many people live their lives reacting, not discerning. When they suddenly feel something they cannot control or categorize, their instinct is to stop talking. Words feel unsafe. Silence becomes their shield. Some people grow quiet around you because they feel seen in a way they are not used to. Your presence carries awareness, and awareness makes hiding difficult. There are individuals who sense that you walk with God closely. They may not use those words, but their spirit understands authority when it encounters it. This is why confident, talkative people suddenly become reserved around you. It confuses you. You wonder if you did something wrong. You did not. Their usual social mask did not work in your presence. When a mask slips, fear rises quietly. Fear does not always look like panic. Sometimes it looks like respect mixed with restraint. If you found value in this message, take a moment to like this video. It helps more chosen ones find this content. There are people who sense your future before you fully step into it. They feel you are becoming something even if you are still walking through the process. That awareness unsettles them. When someone senses you are ahead on a path they abandoned, silence becomes their defense. Not everyone who goes quiet around you is against you. Some are processing. Some are measuring their own lives. Some are wrestling with conviction they did not expect to feel. Your presence becomes the mirror they were not prepared to look into. When prophets entered spaces in Scripture, people did not always rush to speak. They watched, listened, waited. There was weight in the room, not because the prophet demanded silence, but because truth demands reverence. You are not walking around trying to be deep or intimidate anyone, but you have learned to listen more than you speak, to carry yourself without chasing attention that separates you. Noise is a distraction from fear. Silence forces honesty. When people become silent around you, they cannot distract themselves from what they feel. This is where your peace must come in. You are not responsible for easing their discomfort. You are not required to perform friendliness to dissolve their fear. You are allowed to remain calm, steady, and present without explanation. Some people stay silent because they sense careless words will expose them. They feel that speaking freely around you might reveal intentions they would rather keep hidden. Your presence encourages honesty, and not everyone is ready for that. Many chosen ones develop the habit of self-blame. When a room grows quiet, you assume you did something wrong. That habit must end. The silence you encounter is not evidence of failure. It is evidence of impact. Fear also stays quiet because it listens, wanting to assess whether you are safe to approach, challenge, or ignore. When it cannot quickly decide, it chooses observation. There are also those who feel drawn to you but do not know how to express it. They sense wisdom or peace but lack the language to engage, so they stare, hoping you will lead. You do not need to rescue people from their hesitation. If someone is meant to connect with you, God will open their mouth in time. If someone is meant to remain distant, their silence will protect you from unnecessary entanglement. Not every stare is an invitation. Not every silence is admiration. Learn to observe without anxiety. Section 4. The unsettling mirror, chosen one. One of the deepest reasons people stare at you and say nothing is not because of who you are alone, but because of what you awaken in them. Your presence becomes a mirror. Not everyone is ready to face what that mirror reflects. You do not accuse or preach at anyone. Yet, something in your life quietly reminds them of promises they once made to God, values they once held, paths they once considered but chose not to walk. That reminder does not need words. It happens simply because you stayed faithful in ways they did not. Many people abandoned their calling long before they abandoned religion. They learned to survive, blend in, numb themselves. When they encounter someone who still carries sincerity, it stirs something uncomfortable. Speaking would require honesty, admitting regret, acknowledging distance from God they have worked hard to ignore. So instead, they stare. They feel comparison without you ever comparing yourself to them. This is not your burden to carry. Your life is not a condemnation. It is a reminder, and reminders can feel painful to those who have learned to live without conviction. Some become quiet around you because your peace exposes their inner noise. They have learned to live with anxiety, compromise, distraction. When they stand near someone anchored, their imbalance becomes louder inside them. When someone feels uneasy around you, it does not mean you are unkind. It means you are aligned. Alignment makes misalignment uncomfortable. Light does not attack darkness. It reveals it. And revelation is rarely welcomed by those not ready to change. There are people who once prayed like you pray now, believed like you believe now, trusted God with innocence and fire. But life pressured, disappointed, or scared them. Slowly, they compromised, silenced their conscience. When they meet you, the memory of who they used to be rises up without permission. That memory comes with grief, regret, questions they do not want to answer, so they avoid conversation, choose distance masked as politeness. You were not called to lower your light so others can avoid seeing themselves clearly. God did not preserve your faith so you could apologize for it. Your life is a testimony even when you say nothing. Some fear engaging with you because they sense proximity might awaken something they worked hard to bury. They are not ready to change or surrender. Deep down they know being close to you would make pretending harder. This is why you must stop trying to over-explain your intentions or prove you are harmless. Let me free you from guilt you never earned. You are not arrogant because you stand firm. You are not cold because you are selective. You are not distant because you do not overshare. You are mature. And maturity often intimidates those still avoiding growth. Silence gives people space to wrestle with themselves, room to avoid saying something they cannot take back, allows them to keep control of their image a little longer. Do not chase conversation to ease tension. God allowed for a reason. Some silences are protective, keeping you from unnecessary emotional labor, preventing premature intimacy, preserving your energy for aligned relationships. Your life is not meant to make everyone comfortable. It is meant to be faithful. Comfort is temporary. Faithfulness is eternal. The mirror you carry will continue to reflect truth wherever you go. Some will turn away, some will grow curious. Some will eventually return with questions. Your responsibility is to remain who God shaped you to be. When people stare and say nothing, do not assume rejection or failure. Assume encounter. Assume something sacred brushed against something unresolved. Stand calmly in that space. Remain kind without shrinking. Remain humble without apologizing. What they see in you is often what they once hoped to see in themselves. Section 5. God trains you in silence chosen. Many of you have wondered why God allows you to be watched more than engaged, observed more than invited, noticed more than included. There is a reason. And it is not punishment. It is preparation. God has always trained his chosen in silence before trusting them with influence. Silence develops discernment. Noise develops ego. Think about this gently. A vessel is tested before it is poured. A sword is tempered before it is wielded. God allows you to spend seasons being observed without explanation, questioned without defense, evaluated without affirmation. This is how inner authority is formed. If God gave you a loud voice before grounding your spirit, your message would be diluted. If he elevated you before strengthening your restraint, attention would distract you. So he allows silence to become your teacher, misunderstanding to become your discipline, isolation to sharpen your listening. Silence teaches you to hear God clearly. When external voices are limited, internal clarity increases. You learn to trust intuition shaped by prayer, to respond slowly, that not every thought needs expression and not every emotion needs display. Observation without access protects you while you are still becoming. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your formation. Some are only meant to witness the outline of what God is doing, not the details. People feel comfortable studying you from distance, but hesitate to step closer. That distance filters intentions. Those who are merely curious remain silent. Those who are aligned will eventually approach with respect. God trains you to be comfortable not being explained, defended, or fully understood. This comfort is crucial because misunderstanding will follow you into every higher level. If you cannot handle silence now, attention later will overwhelm you. If you need constant affirmation now, criticism later will crush you. People watching you without speaking is part of your spiritual training. It teaches you not to chase validation, to let fruit speak instead of words, to remain anchored when feedback is absent. Many were taught early to explain themselves to survive, to justify feelings, prove intentions. God is gently untraining that reflex. Authority does not explain itself repeatedly. Authority is recognized over time. Look at how God moves in Scripture. He often prepares quietly and reveals suddenly. Years of silence precede moments of public clarity. Your current season is not empty. It is concentrated. You are being protected from premature relationships. If people spoke too freely now, attachments would form too quickly. God limits conversation to preserve focus, allowing observation without intimacy so your identity remains rooted in Him, not others' opinions. You are also being trained to observe others with discernment. When people stay quiet, you learn to read energy, intention, alignment. You learn words are often the least honest part of a person. Silence reveals more than speech ever could. Stop fighting the quiet. Stop interpreting it as lack. Stop rushing seasons God designed to mature you. You are not behind. You are being fortified. The silence is shaping your nervous system, teaching you to remain calm in ambiguity, to trust God without constant reassurance. God knows the future He has for you will place you in rooms where everyone watches, listens, where every word carries consequence. He is teaching you now to carry that weight without anxiety. Stop asking why they will not talk to me and start asking, what is God teaching me here? The answer is often stability, patience, self-trust. People will eventually speak. Questions will come. Recognition will follow, but it arrives when your spirit is ready to handle it without pride or fear. Until then, remain still, present, aligned. Section 6. Why you must not explain yourself. Chosen one. This is where many lose peace without realizing it. You feel the stares, sense the silence, and instinctively something inside wants to explain yourself, soften the room, prove you are harmless, friendly, normal. I am telling you now with clarity, release that instinct. You are not called to explain what God has already authorized. Explanation is often rooted in insecurity, not humility. When you feel the need to clarify yourself before being questioned, it reveals an old survival pattern. Many learned early that misunderstanding led to rejection. So you learn to talk your way into safety. God is now breaking that habit, not to make you cold, but to make you free. Silence protects power. Power leaks when constantly trying to justify itself. Look at how Jesus moved. He did not rush to explain who He was to everyone who questioned Him. He spoke when aligned and remained silent when words would be wasted. Silence was not weakness. It was discernment. When people stare and you rush to fill that space with explanations, you lower yourself into a position you were never meant to occupy. You begin negotiating your presence, apologizing for your nature. Over time, this drains you. Hear this clearly. You do not owe clarity to curiosity. You do not owe access to observation. You do not owe explanations to people who have not earned understanding. God designed silence as a filter. Those meant to know you will approach with respect. Those who only want to assess, compare, or control will remain distant. Many confuse kindness with overexposure. Kindness does not require self-betrayal. Love does not demand you dilute your boundaries. Silence is not cruelty. Silence is wisdom when words would compromise peace. Explaining yourself repeatedly trains people to question you more. It teaches them your authority is negotiable. Silence establishes stability, signals confidence, tells others you are not easily shaken by opinion. This is not about being distant or arrogant. It is about being grounded. Some people stay silent, trying to provoke you into revealing more than you should. They want to test you, see if you will overreact, overshare, overextend. Silence protects you from those tests. You are allowed to pause, respond slowly, say nothing. God is not offended by your restraint. He honors it. Many chosen ones talk themselves out of alignment by speaking too soon. They reveal plans God asks them to keep quiet, explain visions to people who cannot carry them, seek validation from mouths never meant to affirm them. Silence guards destiny, resist the urge to fill every gap. Silence is not emptiness. It is space. Space for discernment, for God to move, for truth to surface without force. When you stop explaining yourself, people will adjust their behavior around you. Some will grow more respectful, some will feel uneasy, some will disappear. That is not loss. That is alignment. Not everyone deserves your inner world, your reasoning, to know why you move the way you do. God does not reveal everything at once. Neither should you. Silence also teaches others how to approach you properly. Those meant to connect will come with patience, humility, genuine curiosity. Those who are not will remain stuck at observation. Release the compulsion to be understood. Release the need to be liked by everyone. Release the belief that silence equals rejection. You are not invisible. You are protected. Your calm without explanation unsettles those who rely on manipulation. Your quiet confidence intimidates those who thrive on control. Your restraint preserves energy for what truly matters. Section 7. The shift is coming, chosen one. Listen with a calm heart, because this is where hope replaces tension. The silence you have been experiencing is not permanent. It is seasonal, and every season God designs has an expiration date. There is a shift coming, and you can already feel it quietly forming beneath the surface. The same people who once watched you without words will not always remain silent. The difference is not that you will change who you are. The difference is God will complete what He has been forming in you, and clarity will replace uncertainty. Right now, many do not know what to say because they cannot yet understand where you fit. They sense potential, depth, direction, but it has not fully manifested in visible form. People speak confidently about what they can define. They stay silent around what is still unfolding, but unfolding never stays hidden forever. There comes a moment when preparation becomes evident, when consistency becomes undeniable, when the quiet strength you carried begins to produce visible fruit. When that happens, the tone of interaction shifts. Those who once stared cautiously will speak with respect. Those who stayed distant will approach with questions. Those who underestimated will recalibrate their words. Not because you demanded it, but because truth matured. This is how God protects you from premature praise and criticism. If people spoke too soon, their opinions would shape you. If they judged too early, their misunderstanding would discourage you. Silence keeps you free while God finishes His work. The silence you experience now is evidence your life is not yet fully explainable to others. That is a gift. God is still writing. Interruptions are minimized so the story remains intact. Many are closer to recognition than you realize, but recognition does not arrive loudly at first. It arrives as subtle shifts, a change in how people look at you, address you. A pause before they speak, not out of fear but respect. You will know this shift has arrived when you no longer feel the need to interpret reactions, when peace replaces analysis, when you stop wondering what people think because it no longer controls you. Those never meant to walk with you will slowly drift as clarity increases. Those who are aligned will step forward naturally. You will not need to recruit them. God will arrange encounters. This is also where humility must guard your heart. When people begin to speak differently, do not let pride replace peace. Remember the silence that trained you. Recognition is not the goal. Alignment is. Recognition is simply the byproduct of obedience sustained over time. Some will notice people who once ignored them now seek their opinion. Some who spoke over you now listen quietly. Some who avoided you now ask how you think. That shift is not about superiority. It is about credibility earned through consistency. Do not rush the shift. Do not force conversation. Do not announce your growth. Let it reveal itself naturally. God knows exactly when visibility becomes safe. Silence prepared you for influence without corruption. When people begin to speak, not everyone who approaches is meant to stay. Some come because they sense benefit. Some because they sense growth. Discernment will guide you. You are not obligated to open every door just because attention arrives. This next season will feel lighter. Not because life becomes easier, but because your inner world becomes steadier. You will speak when necessary, remain silent when wise, move without anxiety. The staring will decrease. Confusion will settle. Silence will evolve into clarity. And when people finally speak, it will be different. Their tone will change, posture will change, words will carry respect, even if they do not fully understand you. That is when you will realize something powerful. The silence was never meant to make you doubt yourself. It was meant to prepare you for the weight of being heard. Stay patient, stay aligned, stay grounded. The shift is coming, and when it arrives, you will recognize it not by noise, but by peace. Section 8. Conclusion Chosen One. Let your mind rest here for a moment. Everything you have been experiencing now has a name, a purpose, and a divine reason. People stare at you and say nothing, not because you are lacking, strange, or failing. They stare because something in you carries weight, and weight always slows a room down. You were never meant to chase words from people still trying to understand themselves. God allowed silence to surround you so your spirit could grow strong without distraction. He allowed observation without explanation, so you would learn stability, restraint, inner authority. Nothing was wasted. Remember this clearly. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are being prepared, and preparation often looks quiet to the outside world. You do not need to change who you are to be accepted. You do not need to explain what God is doing in you. You do not need to react to every stare or fill every silence. Your assignment is simple now. Stay aligned, stay grounded, stay still. God is handling conversations you are not meant to have yet. God is closing mouths that would speak too early. God is protecting you from noise that would disturb your peace. Trust that. Before we close, chosen ones, if this message spoke to your spirit, give a like to this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell icon, and share this message with other chosen ones who need this clarity. Comment 444 in the comments as a sign that you are divinely protected, spiritually aligned, and walking calmly in your assignment. Stay still. God is doing more than you can see.